Former Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy joins us now. Good morning. It's good to see you.
Good morning.
Oh, I mean, you've had your ups and downs with former President Trump. What is your reaction to not only this result? I mean, this was a tie in the polls, so, you know, not unexpected, but such a decisive and resounding result for the former president.
It's one of the biggest wins we've had from a president in decades. I mean, the popular vote and Electoral College, an overwhelming vote. But the other thing that President Trump was able to do is bring a bigger majority in the Senate, and he's going to keep the majority in the House.
Well, let me talk to you about that, because we haven't called the House yet. House races, you got to love it. Some of them don't get called for weeks and weeks.
It will take time,
But you, I mean, you know this numbers, you know this game very, very well. You are confident that the Republicans will take the House.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep the House because you had redistricting, so you had 3 new seats in North Carolina. We picked those up. We lost probably 2 to 3 seats in New York, but we picked up 2 in Pennsylvania. We'll pick up 1 in Michigan. We'll pick up Alaska.
Do you think you'll increase your numbers?
Probably only a couple if we do, but it'll be a tight majority, but it'll be a stronger. And if you watch, there was about 15 seats that were just playing tied, and Trump's numbers brought all these members up.
Well, that's so interesting, because we saw in the 2022 elections it was disappointing for Republicans. They, of course, held on to the House, but not by the numbers. It was not the result that Republicans had hoped for. And many people observed at the time, when Trump isn't on the ballot, some of these down-ballot Republicans are having problems. But he lifted them last night.
He lifted them. When he ran 4 years ago, we beat 12 Democrats, not 1 Republican lost. We won last cycle, won the majority in the House. So winning the Senate by a larger margin than I think most people agreed, being able to sweep. And what President Trump has also done, when you go through and analyze this, policy matters. People vote on it, not so much of race politics. They care about the economy. They care about the border. The other thing that you found with Trump is he expanded the Republican Party. When you're carrying 41% of the Hispanic vote, 25% of the black males, we haven't seen those type of numbers for almost 50 years for Republicans. So this is a window of opportunity for the Republican Party to actually solve problems, expand and welcome more people in the party if they want to be able to maintain this.
It's a political realignment, but it's also, if the Republicans hold the House, they have the Senate now, the White House, I mean, it's over to you, time to govern. You have obviously had that experience, having done it in divided government. What do you think that will look like?
Well, it's going to be a better place, because President Trump has the 10,000 hours experience. He's much better prepared to go in the job. He probably won't waste one day. But you also, because of the Senate rules, you have reconciliation, so you don't need to go to 60. So you'll be able to deal with the tax bill coming up in a different way. I hope both sides come together and finish the job they're supposed to do this year before having President Trump sworn in. They got to finish the funding issue. They got to finish the debt ceiling. Give the president a honeymoon so you can govern, and not hanging over impeachment or anything else. So we'll really see the country be able to come together for once.
It's interesting you mentioned the debt ceiling, because it gets a little wonky, but this is that, hold your breath moment every few months in Congress, where the Republicans, some members of the Republican House weren't willing to lift the debt ceiling unless there were budget cuts elsewhere, and we would be going to the precipice all the time. Do you think Republicans are going to be able to raise the debt ceiling if they need to, do this kind of, boring humdrum stuff of running the government?
Well, debt ceiling is different than just the budget of the government, because 2/3 of the Republicans voted for the debt ceiling. I was the speaker. And we actually had the biggest cut in history, $2 trillion, reformed welfare. We also did NEPA reform, hasn't done in 40 years. It's probably one of the strongest bills of accomplishment. And we were sitting in the minority of 5, not having the Senate or others. So we're going to have to deal with our debt. We got Elon Musk to be able to bring greater efficiency from the business community, bring accountability into government. You're going to have the border secure. The president knows how to do it. We know economics was the major issue that drove people here. I think you're going to find from regulation and small businesses a great deal amount of growth. So there's a new opportunity for people to work together. I mean, remember this. Our government is designed that one party can't have all control. You have to find compromise.
But now one party likely will have all control.
You control the majority, but you don't control all the levers. You're going to have to work together to solve some problems.
Well, on that note, I mean, the president did talk about healing and unifying. And I mean, look, it is a decisive victory, but you have 50% of the country waking up elated and 50% of the country waking up dejected. Do you think Donald Trump has it within him to pull the country together?
Yes, he's better prepared. I will tell you this. I've had calls from world leaders in other countries excited about what transpired here. And why? Because they think it brings stability to the world. But what's more importantly, I've been in the room with President Trump and Democratic leaders. I've watched that he's willing to work with both sides. And for this nation, this is the first time in more than 24 years, 2 decades, that we have somebody who just won the presidency, who won the popular vote and the Electoral College. Now, I know Biden did it, but you have an opportunity now on the Republican side to actually bring the nation together. The campaign is over. It's time to work together and govern.
Yeah, pressure's on. Republicans with all levers of power, potentially. Kevin McCarthy, former House Speaker, thank you so much for your perspective. We're back.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.